This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It was a project subject to delay, cost overruns, audits, an RCMP probe, civil lawsuits, and now an inquiry. Now, we're hearing from the man who was mayor at the time. Sam Cates testified in front of the police headquarters inquiry. CBC's Bartley Kivas is covering the inquiry. And Bartley, this is the first time Cates has spoken since a court determined there was a bribe taken by the city's former CAO on that mega project during Cates' time in office.
Yeah, Sam Cates was the mayor when the city planned and started renovating this former Canada Post complex into the home of the Winnipeg Police Service. Now, as you mentioned, that project was subject to delays and cost overruns and two lawsuits, including one that determined former Winnipeg CAO Schiegel, who you mentioned, accepted a $327,000 bribe from Armic Babakanians of Caspian Construction, the contractor on the police headquarters. That took place back in 2011. According to court documents, Babakanians paid Schiegel before the former CAO awarded Caspian a $137 million construction contract. Now, at the inquiry, City of Winnipeg lawyer Michael Finlayson asked Cates if he ever told Schiegel to disclose the payment.
Did you ever say to Mr. Schiegel, hey, Phil, you're the deputy CAO or the CAO, you should tell council or executive policy committee that you just received money from somebody we're negotiating with in connection with a $100 million plus contract? Did you ever have that discussion with Mr. Schiegel?
No, sir.
Why not?
Just never entered my mind.
Never entered your mind?
Not at the time, no.
So Bartley, what did we learn about Sam Cates' connection to Babakanians?
Well, Cates said that he and Babakanians had golfed a couple of times. The former mayor said he wasn't aware until much later that he and Babakanians and Schiegel were co-investors in land in Arizona. Now, back in 2022, the Manitoba Court of King's Bench found that that Arizona land deal, was concocted to explain the bribe to Schiegel. The Manitoba Court of Appeal noted in 2023, Cates received half that money. And Cates said he didn't take a bribe and he didn't show any favor to Caspian.
For someone to imply that, yeah, it hurts, but you got to deal with it. I'm extremely disappointed and offended that anybody would think that would be anything but what it was.
So Bartley, what did we learn about Cates' connection to Schiegel?
Well, Cates says that he has drifted away from Schiegel, who he once described as a close friend, but the former mayor continued to praise Schiegel's work as CAO.
Mr. Schiegel, in my opinion, was working very hard to get a new police headquarters built, just like any other project. That's what they do. So, yes, I'm aware of that.
So this was day 3 of 48 days of this inquiry. Babakanians and Schiegel are slated to testify next week. Brittany.
All right, thank you. That's CBC's Bartley Kivas. A landmark court trial has started here in Winnipeg. The case is believed to be the first time a Canadian court has authorized a private prosecution connected to farm animals. It's all surrounding 3 horses that collapsed during a trans-Pacific flight. And who's to blame when legal time limits are exceeded when transporting live animals? The CBC's Ian Fraze has that story.
An exporter of live horses is on trial for how it handled a shipment from Winnipeg to Japan in 2022. This case is perhaps unlike any in Canadian history, a private prosecution against an exporter of farm animals. Law stipulates live horses cannot be transported without food, water, and rest for longer than 28 hours. But in this case, it's alleged the maximum time was exceeded. The flight had unexpected delays, including a rerouting because of a blizzard. The exporter, Carlisle Farms from Swan River, is required by law to have a contingency plan in case of unforeseen circumstances. But court heard this plan didn't account for issues around air transportation. The private prosecution says it should have, something the exporter disagrees with. Outside the court, animal rights advocates hope the exporter is held accountable.
We're looking for a conviction of guilty and also for there to be some justice for these horses. And then ultimately, we also want a ban on these exports. We would like this to be stopped.
Horses are very unique animals. They are very skittish. They are very sensitive to sound. We think that transporting horses by air in the first place is inhumane.
Closing submissions will be heard on Friday. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Manitoba's health system is inundated with surging flu rates and an ongoing measles outbreak. According to the province, there's been just over 3,300 flu cases so far this year. The province's chief public health officer says more people are being admitted to the ER and urgent care than they saw at times during the pandemic. Dr. Brent Rusin is warning that a second wave often hits during the early spring. So now this is all happening at the same time as a measles outbreak. There's been almost 400 cases in the last year, and more than 30 of those cases stem from last month Ag Days in Brandon. And tonight, concern that if numbers continue to rise, rural health centres won't have enough beds to go around. CBC's Michelle McDougall reports from the Keystone Centre in Brandon.
Just this morning, the province's chief public health officer, Dr. Brent Rusin, said because the Prairie Mountain Health Region has had so many new cases, he's expanding vaccine eligibility for children from 6 months to under 1 year.
And if you're living in an area that has a significant level of transmission, then you're going to want to be a bit cautious on where you are. Large events, there's going to be increased risk of transmission there. But I would focus on, ensuring the people that are closest to baby are up to date on their vaccines.
If the number of cases continues to rise, some rural healthcare facilities may not have the capacity to house all the sick, according to Doctors Manitoba President Dr. Nichelle Desilets, who is also a physician in Neepawa.
Aside from being vaccinated, the only way to prevent the spread is to isolate when you are feeling unwell. But my hospital sure doesn't have a whole lot of space to separate and isolate people who are feeling unwell.
I spoke with a Brandon daycare operator who says so far there have been no measles cases among the dozens of children in her care. Mary Ann Thiessen with BU Early Learning Centre says she's grateful for parents who've had their kids vaccinated.
COVID has taught us a lot. We've gone through it. And okay, here's another illness that potentially for some can be life-threatening, for others not. And our families have stepped up. So I can just say we really appreciate the families who are able to make inoculations a priority.
The next big event here in Brandon is the Royal Manitoba Winter Fair, scheduled for the end of March, with upwards of 40,000 people expected. The fair's president told me they are taking it seriously and will follow any recommendations from public health, adding they're not ringing the alarm bells just yet. Michelle McDougall, CBC News, Brandon.
Family centres are getting a boost in funding from the provincial government to help children stay in their homes. Government funding for the Every Family initiative will be bumped up by $500,000 to $2 million a year. That will be matched by United Way Winnipeg. It helps fund child and family service liaison workers who support families as a way to keep them together. The funding is earmarked for 25 family resource centres across Winnipeg, including Acorn Family Place.
It allows us to expand programming, strengthen early childhood supports, and ensure families can access services that are culturally responsive, trauma-informed, and grounded in respect. It helps us meet families where they're at, with care and without judgment.
The province says as a result of these liaison workers, 480 families at risk had their kids remain with them, and 100 families saw their children returned because of the support they received. All right, time now for a check on weather with Riley Lachuk. And Riley, I kind of feel like a broken recorder here. We keep saying the same thing. A beautiful day outside today.
Yeah, you and me both. The freeze thaw, Brittany, continuing. In fact, temperatures slightly warmer in some cases than they were yesterday. So you can start to see where we've seen some of that warmer air start to push into the province. 4 degrees in Portage this afternoon, 4 in Winkler, up to 5 in Melita, Winnipeg. The Inner Lake struggling to get over -2, -3 through the afternoon hours, and northern Manitoba has been into some snow throughout the day today. You can see this first area of low pressure now pushing off into northeastern Manitoba over the Hudson Bay coast, tapering off further to the northwest. But in northern Manitoba, there is a second low pressure system that will push through as we get through the day on Friday. This one a little weaker. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the program. Overnight tonight, a repeat of last night, the potential for some fog patches again overnight. -10 in Winnipeg, a very light westerly wind through the night tonight. Looking at more of a southwesterly flow into the morning. -9 first thing with a partly cloudy sky. Again, the potential for some fog patches. And then we'll try for +1 tomorrow afternoon. A mostly sunny sky through the day tomorrow, Brittany. We'll talk about that weekend forecast because it is the long weekend as well when I come back in just a bit.
Oh my goodness, above zero. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
A community and nation in mourning. We're learning more about some of the victims killed in a mass school shooting in BC. We head to Tumbler Ridge after the break. Today is an official day of mourning in British Columbia as the province and the country continue to grieve the mass shooting in the community of Tumbler Ridge. Police remain at the scene of the home and school where so many people were killed or wounded, and we're now beginning to learn more about the 8 who died. The CBC's Brian Labby reports.
The RCMP has now released the names of all of the victims of the school shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC. 13-year-old Ezekiel Schofield, 12-year-old Kylie Smith, 12-year-old Zoe Benoit, 12-year-old Takaria Lampert, 12-year-old Abel Mwansa. Mwansa's family moved to Canada from Zambia in 2023. His father says he was a great boy, ambitious, with a great smile. A staff member was also killed, 39-year-old Shanda Avugana Durand. Dozens more were hurt, including 12-year-old Maya Gabella. She was critically injured in the shooting and is fighting for her life in hospital. Her mother posting on social media that Maya was shot in the head and neck and needs a miracle to survive. A community that suffered unimaginable loss, but united in grief. BC's Premier David Eby on Thursday paying tribute to the victims on this official day of mourning in BC. A moment of silence in the provincial legislature for the victims, while questions linger about the shooter and her motive. 18-year-old Jessie Van Rootselaar killed her mother and her stepbrother in the family home and then went to her former school and started shooting. Police say they were called to the shooter's home on several occasions over the past few years. Calls related to mental health and weapons. On one occasion, Van Rootselaar was detained under the Mental Health Act for an assessment. Weapons from the home were seized 2 years ago, but eventually returned. A community so small, seemingly everyone knows everyone. A tragedy that's touching so many people.
He was a friend with my grandson, and my grandson would come here every summer for a holiday. I haven't told my grandson yet. That's going to be tough.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has invited all federal leaders to join him here in Tumbler Ridge on Friday to attend a vigil and show support for the community. Brian Labby, CBC News, Tumbler Ridge, BC.
All right, Riley, back in now. And Riley, along with these warmer than normal temperatures, we start seeing some other conditions that we don't always see at this time of year.
Past couple of mornings, it's been the fog, Brittany. As we go through that freeze thaw, we get some thawing, a little bit of moisture throughout the day, and we're going to see that again as we get through the night tonight. In fact, since the last time I talked to you, a fog advisory has now been issued for Winnipeg and the Red River Valley. I'm going to start with a look outside from our roof camera right now because this has suddenly changed in the last 10 or 15 minutes since the last time I took a look at this. So you can start to see how some of that low cloud is starting to push into parts of the Red River Valley right now, and that's what's prompted this yellow level fog advisory to be issued for Winnipeg, the Red River Valley, parts of the Interlake into this as well. So we're looking at the potential into the early morning hours. In fact, we're seeing some of that now of near zero visibility. So keep that in mind if you've got any highway travel overnight tonight into the morning hours, really along the Trans-Canada, Highway 6, Highway 75, anywhere really around the capital region that we could see some of that. And there's the risk that we see some of that outside of that region in the west as well. So just keep that in mind through the overnight hours. As we head into Friday, this first low departs out of northern Manitoba. We've seen that snow falling throughout the day today in the north. And then the next one starts to push in as we get through the day tomorrow. And this one not packing as much moisture as the first one did today, but certainly, you know, north of Thompson, Gillam, Shamattawa, looking at the potential Churchill of maybe a couple more centimeters of snow as we get through the day on Friday. And the warm front that pushes through again as we get into the early morning on Saturday could mean some fog patches again developing. Futurecast in the south trying to depict some of that as we get into the morning hours on Saturday. And then we get another burst of it as we get into the day on Sunday, this time for southern Manitoba. This particular model wants to put some flurries into Winnipeg and southern Manitoba. However, I think this does track a little bit further north as we get through the day, or the night, Saturday into the early morning hours on Sunday, and maybe a bit of extra cloud cover hanging around parts of the province into the day on Sunday at this point. So looking at the potential, I think these numbers are a little bit high, but the potential for another maybe 2-4 centimeters of snow into parts of northeastern Manitoba along the Hudson Bay coast as we get through the day tomorrow. Looking at temperatures across the province, another warm one as we get through into the day on Friday, looking at +1 in Winnipeg, minus single digits into western parts of the province, and even up to 0 as we get into Thompson as we get through into the day tomorrow. All right, let's look ahead into Saturday. Quick look at Valentine's Day. A little bit of an early treat for you, Brittany, with some cloud cover as we get through the afternoon hours and as we head into the evening, looking at partly cloudy skies and temperatures hanging around the freezing mark.
Okay, I thought that was going to be a box of chocolates for me. But all right, thanks, Riley. Well, the Made in Manitoba concert series is bringing big musical acts to small communities, and the intimate performances happen in some unusual places. CBC's Eric Westhaver explains from Flin Flon.
There's something special going on in this basement. It's the latest installment of a small venue concert series started in Manitoba. It's called Home Roots Chamont Chez Nous, and tonight it's brought acclaimed fiddlers Jane Corey and Kyle Berg out to Flin Flon.
We've gone to primarily larger cities across Canada, but it's really special to be able to tour and to bring our music to smaller communities, and the reception's been really, really incredible.
The shows started in 2007, when the founders of the Winnipeg Folk Festival used grant money to bring shows to small communities. Some shows take place in small halls or clubs. Others, like this one, are in people's homes. Each town has local hosts. For the past 16 years, the party in Flin Flon has been at Tim and Ellie Spencer's place.
I've been keeping a collection of posters from each year, and so I went back, and I think tonight's show is number 105.
Musicians play over a dozen shows per tour. Corey likes the smaller space and the atmosphere.
Feel like you can connect to people on a deeper level. You can even have conversations, throughout the concert. People seem to feel just a little less shy about chatting with you and really connecting with you.
Ellie says hosting the shows is worth the time.
It's just been such a good experience. I would recommend it to anybody. My house today is a bit of a disaster, but there you are. I still have 35 people in my basement, and we're going to have a really fun time.
More shows are set throughout this winter and spring. Dates and locations are on the Home Roots website. Eric Westhaver, CBC News, Flin Flon.
All right, to Italy now. A Ukrainian skeleton athlete has filed an appeal after being disqualified for having a helmet that honors his country's war dead. The International Olympic Committee made its decision just minutes before the race. That prompted Vladislav Haraskevich to accuse the IOC of tolerating Russian propaganda.
A terrible decision. I believe it's very unequal treatment. Other athletes in the same situations was treated differently, and I believe it's very wrong.
The helmet shows images of more than 20 athletes and children who've died in Russia's assault on Ukraine. The IOC says it's a violation of the athlete's charter, which prohibits political expression on the field of play. As a compromise, officials had said they would allow Haraskevich to wear a black armband. He refused, calling it, quote, a betrayal.
2, 1.
All right, Western Canada's largest winter festival kicks off tomorrow. The 57th annual Festival de Voyageurs welcomes tens of thousands of festival goers every year. For tickets and lineups, head to heyho.ca. Canada has won 3 more medals at the Winter Olympics in Italy, 1 in bronze in speed skating, plus 2 silvers on the ski hills. And one of them could not have been closer to gold.
That was close. Same score as the winner. Just a little tie break, but very proud of myself. But it's I don't want to say bittersweet because I'm very happy, but how can you be closer to a gold medal than that?
So close. That's Quebec's Mikhail Kingsbury speaking after this amazing run. It registered the exact same score as another competitor, the Australian, ultimately declared the winner due to higher marks for turns. This is the 33-year-old's 4th Olympic Games and the 4th time he's medaled in this event. That makes him the most successful freestyle skier in Olympic history.
And nice to see a little bit of snow falling in that part of Italy throughout the day. Today, some snow in northern Manitoba today, and again as we get into the day tomorrow. But the south looking at, well, somewhat sunnier and warmer conditions. And I think Kiko is going to be really happy for that, despite being, dressed for the cold snap as we got through January with the sweater. I think you can probably shed that as we head through the day on Friday, looking at -9 first thing in the morning. The winds do start to back off. I mean, still light, but could be a touch breezy at times, looking at temperatures up to 1 degree by the afternoon. Your 7-day looks like this on the freezing mark for Valentine's Day on Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, -2 into Sunday, a little bit breezy. Again in the morning, maybe a couple of odd flurries first thing, but I am watching a system that could bring us a bit more of a substantial snow as we get toward the middle of next week, but still a little bit of uncertainty there.
Those temperatures, though. Yeah. Wow.
Well, if you have a sweet tooth, you'll savor this next story.
Some courageous souls took part in a donut speed eating contest in Poland. That's tonight's Daily Lift. Okay, that winner downed 7 traditional Polish donuts. It's a competition held every year right before Lent, which happens just before the end of Easter.
Eating just 1 donut on Fat Thursday in Poland is said to bring good luck into the year ahead. People, in fact, stand in long lines to satisfy their sweet tooth.
7. I don't know.
That sounds really good.
I'd like 1. Maybe some donuts. There you go. Donuts for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Remember, that is Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.